My name is Adam Hennekens. I'm 21 years old, and 3 years ago I had the worst experience I've ever had in my entire life. It started out in the morning, best conditions of the entire year, right after a fresh storm. I was just riding down a hill like I always do. I just got a new snowboard, so I was extra fast. And then I went off a jump way too fast, went off rotation, landed upside down, and my leg just snapped into the ground. My femur broke in half. I moved about 3 inches. As soon as I stood up, I just felt instant pain coming straight from my leg. Could not move at all. I thought it was completely dislocated, like unattached from my body. But I think my life flashed before my eyes for a second. First thing I did, I tried to stand up. Finally realized I couldn't move, so I just flagged somebody down, screaming, "Ah, help me," you know. And then 2 minutes later, ski patrol was there. They tightened me up, put me on a little sled. I went down the hill and ended up in the hospital after that. Well, first they drugged me up, put me in the hospital, took a bunch of x-rays. After that they drilled a hole down the center of my femur, put a rod the entire length of my femur, it's about this long, and then they tightened it with 2 screws on top and 2 screws on bottom. Okay, so pretend this is your hip bone, or your femur, going up straight here, and then it curves into your hip. Well, it broke right here, so that when it broke, my top part was kind of bent over and not lined up with the bottom. And they had to drill the rod in there to keep the angle right once they put it back together. Right at the crack right here, kind of like your outside muscles get stuck, and then every time I'd move, like the top part of my bone would pinch it inside. I just had the worst pain in the world every time. It's actually gotten a lot better in the past couple of years, but it took about 6 months to a year afterwards for most of the pain to really go away. Alright, this is my first of 3 scars right here. You can see it at the top. They had to cut me open right here to put the long rod straight down through the bottom of my femur. It went down all the way through the bottom. The second of the 3 scars is going to be right here at the top. This is where they cut me open to get the screws up into the top. They said the reason why it was so long is because they had to open up my leg all the way so they could pull all the muscle tissue out of the middle of the bone. And the reason it's so fat too is because it's been opened up twice, because I had 2 surgeries to get the screws in and then 2 to get one to get it out. And then this is the bottom of the last of the 3 scars, and that's just where the bottom 2 screws went into the side of my femur right there. The accident never stopped me. Ever since the accident, I just never really let it slow me down. I'm still up in Big Bear twice a week now.